The film opens up with an unhappy old man named Inuyashiki. And I say he is unhappy because he has a nagging wife, an antisocial son, an ungrateful daughter, and a job where he is treated worse than dirt. And as if that were not enough, he had just been diagnosed with cancer and has no more than 3 months to live. Inuyashiki, immersed in sadness, tried to tell his family the bad news, but his family, like every day, did not want to talk to him. When Inuyashiki was walking sadly with his little dog in the park, he noticed a mysterious young man sitting there. Suddenly, they both saw the strange light in the sky, which was nothing more, nothing less than a meteorite. The next day, the old man woke up in the park and strangely had no scratches, so he returned home without giving any explanation because nobody cared anyway. When he was in the solitude of his room, he felt that something strange was happening in his body, and it is not understood how, but his body seemed to be that of a machine. Obviously, the old man was very confused, and he did not know what was happening to his body. Later, when Inuyashiki was on his way to work, he came across an injured pigeon, and he held it with his hands, and unintentionally somehow managed to heal it. On the other hand, the movie introduced us to the other important character of this movie, who was the boy who was near the grandfather at the time the meteorite fell. His name is Hiro, and he is a high school student who only has one friend named Shoko. Hiro shows his best friend the new powers he has, such as hurting a pigeon just by simulating a gun with his hands, starting and moving vehicles at will, and modifying his body as if he were a machine. At school one day, Shoko was being assaulted by his classmates, and Hiro defended him with his new powers. When Hiro was about to explode his classmate's head, Shoko managed to stop him. With that scene, we realize that there is something wrong with Hiro, and that maybe it's because he only lives with his mother. The movie continues and little by little shows us that the old man turns out to be a good person, since he uses his powers to help the sick who have little time to live, unlike the wretched Hiro, who uses his powers to kill with total impunity the lives of several citizens. The old man with his new powers manages to hear the screams of Hiro's victims, and when these two metahumans finally manage to run into each other, Hiro shot the old man. But as Hiro did not know that the old man had powers too, he did not realize that he left him alive. The news about citizens being annihilated became public, and Shoko asked his friend if he was the one doing all this, and the very unhappy Hiro admitted it without hesitation. Then Shoko took courage and told him that they could no longer be friends, because what he was doing was a totally immoral act, so he said goodbye to him. On the other hand, the old man learned to use his powers more, and now could fly. Then he decided to return to the place where the meteorite had fallen, and inadvertently ended up meeting Shoko. Shoko, after hearing the story of the meteorite impact, told him his theory. According to him, what fell was not a meteorite, but a spaceship that fell by mistake. That is, the aliens, seeing that they had ended the lives of 2 humans because of an accident caused by them, felt guilty, so they decided to revive them, but with supernatural powers. Shoko trains the old man so that he can defeat Hiro and thus save the people, and in this way, he learns, among other things, the technique of the gun using his hand. Meanwhile, Hiro was walking with the love of his life, the only person he loved who was his mother, but suddenly, the police of Japan arrived to arrest him, as they knew that Hiro was guilty of all the murders that were taking place in the city. So Hiro started to run, eliminated some policemen, and managed to fly away. But this time, the news came out with his picture, and now everybody knew that he was guilty. Then, his house location was leaked on social media, and the press went to ask Hiro's mother about her son, and held her responsible for everything. For raising a wretch, and due to social pressure, his mother decided to take her own life. Hiro was completely angry with the people who had leaked his address, so using the net and his strange powers, he finished them off one by one. That is right. Hiro didn't need to be physically close to them. He just needed some people to be able to see him in digital form. Among so many bad news, Hiro was starting to feel something special for a classmate who was giving him shelter, but his joy was short-lived because when the Japanese police found Hiro and tried to attack him, this girl became a victim of the fire. Hiro fled the scene, but this time he was very angry. Then he used a giant TV to say a message. Since the police of Japan had declared war on him by attacking him, he was now going to declare war on the state of Japan, and therefore, Hiro started the carnage. The old man sensed what was happening in the city. Then, he together with Shoko also issued a message, in which they told everyone to turn off their cell phones, televisions and computers, as Hiro could only shoot them all through those devices. Obviously, all the people started to throw their cell phones, and Hiro was a little upset because his friend Shoko was against him. And besides, he was also upset because there was a person who also had his same powers. And because he could no longer use his powers to attack their devices, he launched a bunch of random missiles. And one of them unintentionally hit the building where Inuyashiki's daughter was. The old man, realizing that things got serious, went to stop Hiro and started an argument. Then, Inuyashiki told him to stop killing innocent people. But Hiro told the old man to stop acting like a hero. And because they were both angry, a battle started. The old man managed to defeat Hiro in the space, and then went at full speed to check on his daughter, who to his luck was still alive. His daughter was surprised to see her dad as a hero, but just at that moment, Hiro appeared again and attacked the old man. Hiro saw his former companion and realized that she was the old man's daughter, so in front of her, he started to beat Inuyashiki savagely. The old man was defeated and had no strength left, so Hiro took advantage of that to try to show his daughter down the building. Then, the old man showed his maximum power, and in one super lunge, he smashed Hiro's body. Obviously, Inuyashiki managed to catch his daughter before she fell to the ground, and without giving her any explanation, he told her that he had to save more people. Days passed, and the president of Japan is heard giving a statement mentioning that Hiro had died. Then, we see Inuyashiki's family having a leisurely breakfast, while the news was talking about a supposed known hero who had saved mankind. It was a long time later that we see Hiro was not dead and visited the house of his friend Shoko, who was very scared because he thought Hiro was going to kill him. But that didn't happen, as Hiro left the place, and this is how the movie ends.